What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam, I hope you guys are doing phenomenal tonight, man. Hope you guys all had a great start to your week and a great Monday. I hope you guys are ready for another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys, with the Catch fam. Of course, tonight we are hopping into a full PPR 12-team mock draft. Let's take a look at the roster settings. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a tight end, and 2 flex spots, kicker and defense, because it's basically August, and we've got 5 bench spots. So we're going to go ahead and kick this thing off. We're not going to waste any time. Let me go ahead and just send out a final warning on Discord. Mock is starting, not Mark. There we go. And let's kick it off. Let's hop right into a 2023 fantasy football mock draft. Excited as ever to be here with you guys. You know what we're going to do tonight? We're going to have some fun. We're going to talk some fantasy football. So hit that like button on the way in so more people see the stream and come out and hang out with us, talk fantasy. If you guys are new to the channel, thank you for being here tonight. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so I will be in your algorithm and you can listen to me talk about fantasy football, because why would you not want another guy in your live feed talking about fantasy football? But most importantly, guys, hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how you guys are doing. Any fantasy football questions you guys have? Any NFL topics you guys want to go over? Let me know. We're going to get into tonight. I don't know who to pick here, so I'm just going to take Bijan Robinson. I was kind of like contemplating going with a wide receiver right there, Cooper Kupp or Tyreek Hill, just to switch it up. But I'm going to take my RB1 off the board. I'm going to go Bijan there. Don't mind C-Mac there. Don't mind Kupp there. Don't really mind Tyreek Hill or Austin Eckler there if those are your guys. But I'm going to roll with Bijan, and we're going to move right along here. Let's say we're hopping into a hero running back build for the night. So we've got a little bit of NFL news to get into. It's been another day of training camp. The pads came out for a lot of teams today. If I'm not mistaken, today was the first day of pads for a lot of teams. So I know for a couple teams it was at least. But an unfortunate update for the Broncos wide receivers room, okay? Tim Patrick is believed to have torn his Achilles and is expected to be out for the season after missing all of last year as well. Tim Patrick, last year, my favorite, like late round wide receiver to target leading up to his injury. I've always been a fan of Tim Patrick. Well, maybe not always, but ever since he's been productive in the NFL. It's just unfortunate, man. It sucks. You know, missed all last year, obviously. So you're hoping that Tim Patrick will be healthy this year. Sean Payton offense. Broncos had to be better than they were last year this year. So it sucks, right? But, we definitely wish Tim Patrick a speedy recovery. But we do have to look at this from a fantasy football perspective, okay? This is going to help Jerry Jeudy and Courtland Sutton. And on top of the news that Tim Patrick is going down for the year, we also had an update on KJ Hamler, so we should probably just mention that first before we get to Sutton and Jeudy. But KJ Hamler is expected to be waived by Denver, okay? They are waiving him with a non-football illness designation. So he was beginning to have chest pains working out prior to training camp, and he has a heart condition. So this is another really unfortunate circumstance. You hate to see this. KJ Hamler, obviously not like biting incredibly heavy into the workload. In the last 2 seasons, he's had 24 targets and his 12 receptions, but he's still a wide receiver on this roster. So when we look at things now, you got Marquez Callaway kind of sneaking around here going into his 4th season. But obviously the guys we're looking at are Marvin Mims, Jerry Jeudy, and Courtland Sutton. So with today's news, and, I would probably mention Greg Dulcich as well, but at the end of the day, we need to look at these Broncos wide receivers and understand that there's a pretty clear-cut picture here, barring any more injuries and, barring them signing. I don't even know who's floating around out there at the wide receiver position right now. I would imagine nobody too relevant, but, them signing anyone or anyone else getting injured. Okay, so you've got, let me make this selection very quickly here. You know who I'm going with. Give me my boy. But yeah, you got a 1A, 1B wide receiver situation. A lot of people are going to argue that Jerry Jeudy's a clear-cut wide receiver one. I think it's pretty close between Sutton and Jeudy. I think as long as they're healthy, they could easily garner the same amount of targets. Maybe Jeudy outweighs that by a little bit, but I still think for the most part, Sutton and Jeudy are going to be just as consistent as the other. Then you've got Marvin Mims, who definitely has the potential to potentially overtake either wide receiver, both wide receivers, or just be in his own particular role. So, these three guys, it's clear cut. These are your wide receivers 1, 2, and 3 for the Denver Broncos right now, and then you're going to have Greg Dulcich involved as well. Samaje Perine's probably your pass catching back, but ultimately, Russell Wilson, Sean Payton offense, there's enough targets to go around for all those players we just listed. So ultimately, I haven't been incredibly high on the Broncos wide receivers coming into the season. I wasn't incredibly high on them going into last year as well. Once again, pause. Let me make this pick. Just this a weird place to draft from. I kind of want to go running back here, but I generally don't. You know what? Give me Debo tonight. We're going to talk about Debo in a little bit. But, yeah, for me, like I said, not incredibly high on the Broncos wide receivers, but we have a clear-cut picture. And if you own Jerry Jeudy, if you own Courtland Sutton, in Dynasty, if you guys have already been on the Jerry Jeudy kind of train this offseason, which I feel like is pretty large, then at the end of the day, this is good news for Jerry Jeudy, as unfortunate as it is for Tim Patrick and even KJ Hamler. I don't think we need to overreact to this. I do think that Tim Patrick was going to be involved this year, but I don't think he was. I still think at the end of the day, he could have ended up being the wide receiver 4 on the depth chart if over time as Marvin Mims potentially progresses. He could have also been the wide receiver 3 and potentially 8 into a lot of Courtland Sutton targets as well. So I don't know. I wouldn't overreact. I mean, Jerry Jeudy going into 3.5 tonight isn't anything that we haven't necessarily seen before, but I still think, in my opinion, there are other wide receivers I would rather draft than Jerry Jeudy who are on the board right now. So I don't know. I think this is good news. Like I said, if you own Jerry Jeudy and or even Courtland Sutton, if you've been targeting one or the other, then this is only going to help them. So it's unfortunate, like I've already said a couple times, but that's your biggest update of the day. So let me know your guys' thoughts in the chat. Okay, we've got an interesting update, another unfortunate update, though. Zach Moss, Colts running back, suffered a broken arm today at practice. He's expected to miss about 6 weeks. Yeah, when we look at a player like Zach Moss, once again, wish him a speedy recovery, but, obviously he's not a player that we're thinking of in terms of incredible fantasy relevancy. So, what makes this interesting, though, is Jonathan Taylor is claiming he is not currently injured. Guys, I don't know if you saw the footage of Jonathan Taylor today at training camp. Dude is injured, and it's not his ankle. The ankle injury has been, he's been recovered from that. That's not the issue here. He's claiming that he did not get hurt, prior to training camp in his own individual workouts, whatever it may be. He's hurt. I don't know when it happened. I don't know which side, the Colts, Jonathan Taylor. It's a really ugly situation that is starting to evolve day by day. But Jonathan Taylor's back is not okay. I mean, I should have pulled up the footage for you guys. But, yeah, he's not okay at the end of the day. So, when we look at this depth chart, Deion Jackson had some good games last year in Jonathan Taylor's absence. So he's definitely the player that we're primarily looking at if Jonathan Taylor is going to be traded, is if he's going to be cut, which I don't really think he's going to be, or if he's going to miss time. Deion Jackson's still the guy, right? But with Zach Moss out of the picture, okay, that helps. You know, if you're for some reason going after Deion Jackson, which we might actually start having a serious conversation about. But this also helps Evan Hull, a running back that you guys know I was a really big fan of coming into this year in terms of a prospect, and a running back that I targeted in a couple of our dynasty leagues and own in a couple of our dynasty leagues as a taxi squad guy. Evan Hull could get a lot of opportunities coming his way. So definitely an interesting update. If you own Evan Hull, this was probably a good day. But once again, like, I wouldn't assume that Hull is the like clear RB1 in this picture. I still think Deion Jackson's going to be involved. And you do have Jake Funk hanging around. I'm not really worried about him. But, you know, with Zach Moss out of the picture, at least for a couple weeks, if anything happens one way or another with Jonathan Taylor, then Deion Jackson, Evan Hull are probably your RB1, RB2 for the Colts pretty undoubtedly. Alvin Kamara is set to meet with Commissioner Goodell. He's going to the principal's office. So they're going to discuss his looming potential suspension. So, okay, let me make this pick. Give me Drake London here. See, like, that's my biggest caveat with picking Jerry Jeudy. Or, excuse me, Jerry Judy's on my head. With picking Deebo Samuel at 3-3 is I can get Brandon Ayuk in the 4th or the 5th, and I just would rather do that. So I kind of wish that I went Amari Cooper there. Calvin Ridley was already gone, or else I would have smashed that. I almost went Jahmyr Gibbs. Just felt like that would have been a fun pick. I was actually kind of close to taking the first quarterback off the board as well. Like, yeah, it really pains me to pass on Brandon Ayuk right here. Like, incredibly pains me. Maybe I might just pick a running back. I might just pick a quarterback here. Let's go with the early round quarterback tonight. Let's try and switch it up a bit. Give me Herbie. I mean, I don't mind Trevor Lawrence there at all, but let's go early quarterback tonight. Okay, so there's your updates. Nothing else came up that I think is worth talking about. So yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts. There's your news for the day. All right, let's see who's in the live chat. Thank you guys for being here tonight, man. If you guys haven't already, do me a favor, hit that like button because that helps me, and I love you guys. All right. Box in the Jack, what's up, bro? Thomas, what's going on? Dom, hello. Chase, we are drafting next to each other. I gave you Ayuk, so there's my gift to you. Made for TV, what's going on, man? Senior Cinnabon, hello, hello. Sport Dog, what's going on, man? Thank you for being here. First time this year. Let's go. It's draft season, baby. We're locked and loaded. Good to see you. Godfather, what's up, what's up? Spencer, congratulations on being a member of the channel for 1 year. Thank you for your support. What's up, Spence? Slade, what's going on, man? Thomas says, JT make you nervous with all the buzz going around, possible holdout. I mean, the holdout is like, yeah, it makes me nervous, I guess, but that's not really the biggest issue right now in my opinion. Okay, the bigger issue is like, you know, Jonathan Taylor's on the PUP list, could be moving to a different injury list, and then we've got this now back injury looming that he's saying is not a thing. Footage is saying otherwise. The Colts are saying otherwise in terms of his injury designation, and then like you've just got the two sides going at each other in various ways. It's an overall situation that I do not like. I mean, Jonathan Taylor at the 2.8 is a good value, you know, but like at this point, I'd rather take Josh Jacobs at the 3.11. At least that's where he went tonight. If I'm going to take a running back who's in a bad situation in terms of this offseason at the moment. So yeah, I guess it makes me nervous, but the injury that's looming makes me more nervous. Let's see. Albert, what's going on, man? Mason, who would you take? 1.7 full PPR, two running backs, two wide receivers, one flex. I mean, for me, if you're sitting at the 1.7, the first round outside of Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase is so all over the place right now that it's kind of hard to pinpoint who's really going to be there. As these next couple weeks go on, we might get a better idea. But, looking at the board tonight, Bijan, Cup, Hill, C-Mac, Brown, Kelsey are all gone, in those first 8 picks. You're looking at the first 7 picks, right? But even, Diggs, Eckler, Lamb, and even Barkley, like, we've ran enough mock drafts at this point, and even just the past couple mock drafts we've ran in the same format, like, all those players can go at anywhere in that exact range right there. Cup, C-Mac, and for the most part, Bijan and Tyreek Hill are going to go towards the front half. But any of those guys could fall out. It just depends on who you're drafting with. So I think Cup, Tyreek Hill go in the top 5 or 6 at least, and C-Mac will as well. And then, like, Bijan can go as early as 1.3 if you're drafting with me. But there are enough people who have that conviction in Bijan. But Bijan can also fall out to the 1.8, the 1.9. And, I mean, Austin Eckler can go in the top 5, or he can go at the 1.10 tonight. We saw Barkley go at, like, the 1.6 last night. So it's tough to say. But for me personally, at the 1.7, I am 100% targeting Bijan Robinson if he's there. If he's not there, C-Mac and Eckler, 2 guys you still have to consider, can run hero running back. Don't have a problem with that whatsoever. In terms of wide receivers, I mean, like I said, Cup, Hill, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, those are the guys in the first round I want. So it's a tough call, but those are the guys, that obviously we're taking a look at. The guys I prefer, Bijan Robinson, and it's just really hard to say who's going to be there. I mean, I like CeeDee Lamb in that range of wide receivers. I'd say Bijan Robinson or Austin Eckler, and then CeeDee Lamb or A.J. Brown. Those are like the top targets I would have personally. All right. Who am I going to draft next? A couple good players available here. I'm still upset I went Deebo Samuel. Just give me DeAndre Swift. I mean, I love him as an RB2 this year. I know. Hate me for it, but I do. I love Rashad White right there as well. Like, I'm going back and forth on those guys. I don't mind Pacheco. I don't mind David Montgomery as we see a string of running backs go here. But Swift as an RB2 just really doesn't upset me in any way whatsoever. I mean, I get the injury history, but it just doesn't upset me. Okay. Couple good wide receivers available right here as well. I might be kicking myself in the shin here for not going running back, but let's go Jahan Dotson, and let's not look back. Trevor Lawrence, just a great value at the 7.4. All right, let's see here. Slade, hope I can sneak into the next draft. Yeah, I will be running a 10-team mock directly after the stream as requested by Tommy. So I will be dropping that link at the end of the stream. So if you guys are interested in joining, be sure you stick around. Ramon, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Saw last night's draft, now following this one. Great to have you back, man. Welcome to it. It's mock draft season, ladies and gentlemen. Season 11 in my league, set draft for August 19th. Is that too early? I mean, preferably for me, I'm going to wait as long as I can to draft, but I don't think the 19th is too bad. And, there's so much that goes into like planning a draft for a lot of leagues out there that sometimes you have to do it a little bit earlier. The 19th, not too bad. I think the following weekend, the 26th to 27th, is probably better. And as close as you can get it, to the first week of September, the better. But, I mean, just keep in mind, like we've already seen the past couple of days, like these preseason games, practices, training camps, whatever it may be, we're going to see players get hurt, unfortunately. Players get traded. Players maybe hold out, whatever it may be. Things are going to happen. The most of that you can potentially limit, the better. Spence officially moved out of the house. Last 3 days have been absolute hell. Gotten a total of 10 hours sleep, 72 hours. Fully moved so I can finally rest. Let's go, Spence. Good news at the end. That's all that matters. Ramon, RB heavy early and QB late. Rookies late in draft has been my strategy. Interesting. Hasn't been necessarily what I've been doing, but we'll have to see some of your teams here. Chase, thoughts on sending Schultz in a 2024 third for a 2024 second? Depends on if that's going to be, like, what you think that second's going to turn into. Because, like, I think, call me crazy, in a tight end premium league, you might be able to get a second-round pick just for Dalton Schultz alone. That's a good point. That first Sunday before the season starts is Labor Day weekend, so some people don't want to. In my home league, we had a problem with that one year. We were drafting, like, I don't know. I think Labor Day was the Monday or the Sunday. I don't remember. It was a Monday, I think. Yeah, because it's usually not on Sundays. And people were, like, upset. We were drafting that Sunday night before, and, like, I don't know. Check with your leagues, all I'm saying. Tommy was watching the news today. Seattle live from training camp. They're giving JSN a lot of praise. That does not surprise me in the least bit. Chase, his team finished third last year. I would expect mid to late second, but his top two running backs are Jacobs and Cooks. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, it's like so hard to call on a yearly basis. Sport Dog, what's up, dude? Are there any wide receivers that also do kick returns anymore? There are some, but a lot of teams try to limit that, which I do think is smart. But then every now and then, like, I don't know, like, there's still points where you're seeing, like, Cooper Kupp or Tyreek Hill return kicks, and I'm like, what is the logic here? Let me know in the chat if you guys can think of anyone. I mean, like, Sky Moore comes to mind, but, like, that's obviously not really a thing. Or, like, it might not be a thing this coming season. Okay, who am I drafting here? Let's just go Brian Robinson. I like him in this range. I can't believe I just picked two Washington running backs, like, back-to-back here, but that's where we're at. So, we'll see what happens. Okay. This is a weird draft for me. I just feel stained by the fact that I picked Debo. I'm starting to like Debo, but probably not at the 3.3. Obviously, I was talking, so, like, I mean, it's interesting because, like, I don't mind Cooper there. I feel like I'd be reaching for Kirk or DJ Moore, who are, like, my next top-rated guys, but, like, I mean, it just goes back to what I always say. Go out and get your guys, follow your conviction, and then Kirk goes at the 4.2, DJ Moore goes at the 4.3. If I have Devonta Smith, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, and Drake London, like, I like that start actually more than Smith, Samuel, or London, you know? And once again, like, just looking back, I would have been able to get Brandon Ayuk at the 4.10 or the 5.4. And traditionally, if I started this draft with Bijan, Debo, Christian Kirk, or DJ Moore, Drake London, and Brandon Ayuk, I'd be really happy with the start to this draft. So, anyways, just criticizing myself. Okay, I was literally going to pick Sky Moore. But that's okay. It's probably a smart idea for me to go with either running back or tight end anyways. So let's go Jerick McKinnon here, and let's move right along. Yeah, Sky Moore, I mean, it's just going to be tough to scoop up Sky Moore. Like, I really think his ADP is going to move right up to the 9th round, right where it goes tonight, the 9.2. He might even creep up to the end of the 8th just because guys are going to want to go out and get him. So, yeah, the era of getting Sky Moore going into 2023 in the 11th or 12th, 13th round, 10th round is probably far from over, in my opinion. Chase, thanks for White. No worries, man. I'll take Swifty. But I do love White. They're like neck and neck for me. Ramon, I won 3 running backs, one wide receiver in the first 4 rounds. Whew. I haven't drafted like that in a long time. Like the value of wide receiver and quarterback in the mid rounds. Okay. I mean, you look at it tonight. Like if you go Cup, 3 running backs, Ayuk, like Deontay, Mike Williams, JSN Lockett, or Addison. That's not too bad. I do need to start running some drafts where I'm going like, do like a running back heavy draft and things like that. So we'll see. Let's see here. I agree, Tommy. T-Law at 7.4 is absolutely ridiculous. If I had known I could have got T-Law at 7.3, I would have never taken Justin Herbert at 5.3. As much as I like Herbert, ER, my league will sleep on JSN. I'm grabbing him in mid-rounds. Yeah, I mean, I think when we look at the nature of rookie wide receivers in the past couple years, like Addison, JSN, Zay Flowers, QJ, all these guys are worth taking where they're going. Yeah, Tommy, I wouldn't worry about it, man. We have numerous subscribers request 10-team mocks, so we get it. And, I don't get a lot of them, but last offseason I did get like 1 or 2 8-team requests. And I'll run those too if I need to. I'm here for you guys. So, let's see. Trying to catch up here. Is Jahan Dotson a running back? Yes. Wait, did I call Jahan Dotson a running back? Taylor, got offered Olave and a 3rd for Waddle, yay or nay? Dude, that's close. I'd probably still say no. I mean, Olave and Waddle, I'm assuming it's Dynasty are like neck and neck for me. But I don't think the 3rd rounder outweighs it for me. Now, you could argue like Olave is going to be the wide receiver 1 where Waddle is still behind Hill. Chat, let us know what you guys think of that one. Olave in the 3rd or Jalen Waddle? That's close. Yeah, Spence says try and get a 2nd. I agree. All right, trying to get caught up here. Slade, I love how the 1.10 is drafted so far. Chase, I prefer Waddle. Got some votes for Olave at the bottom as well. It's super close between those two guys. All right. Freiermuth, a good pick there. I probably would have just taken Freiermuth if he was still there. This is a weird place to draft from. I forgot that we're in a double flex situation tonight. Give me Romeo. I don't know. Devonta Smith, Deebo Samuel, Drake London, Jahan Dotson. I want more one wide receiver that I can trust here. And I trust Romeo Dobbs at this point. Call me crazy. I'm kind of tempted to take another wide receiver right here. But I'm kind of nervous to do so. There's also some running backs I like right here. It's a tough pick. Yeah, I like Damian Harris right there. Cole Kmet's a good pick. I almost went Kmet at the 10.10. Now I'm too worried about tight end to take any other player, so I'll just take Greg Dulcich. Yeah, I knew there's a strong chance that Njoku and or Komet were going to get picked there, and of course they both did. If I didn't take one of them at 10.10, so I'm okay with Greg Dulcich, but yeah, I don't know. Looking at the board, every team in front of me has a tight end, but Dulcich is a great like tight end 2 target, so I'm not going to risk it. So basically, I've got 2 more bench spots here. I'll probably just go with 2 flyers at wide receiver and or wide receiver running back. Senior Cinnabon, thoughts on J-Mo this season after today? I don't really have any concern about him right now. You know, like there's a couple aspects here, okay? The first thing is you're going to have some reporters who report in a negative manner, okay? Like there were reports today from like a specific reporter for the San Francisco 49ers who is like always super critical of Brock Purdy and like wrote an article or report, whatever you want to say, specifically about like 2 passes he threw where he lost grip of the football, like trying to tie it to his injury. It's like, okay. But my point being is that when we're hearing like the other day, right, there were reports about Tyreek Hill like dropping catches in training camp. It's like, okay, do we really need to overreact to Tyreek Hill having a bad day in training camp? Probably not. I think we'll be okay. So when we look at J-Mo's situation, like he had a bad day in training camp. Do I want to overreact to that? Not necessarily. I mean, I'm not already like super high on Jameson Williams, so like it doesn't really impact the way I'm looking at things. Then yeah, like he gets in a fight with a teammate. Well, everyone gets in fights with teammates. Like Travis Kelce, like absolutely like terrorized like a rookie the other day for no reason. Like, I mean, so the combination of those things don't really concern me, but it doesn't like really help when I'm already in a position where Jameson Williams just hasn't been a part of my overall draft strategy or a target for me. Like you already know he's going to miss 6 games, and he had some good plays last year, but he didn't really have a lot of them. You know, he's probably still recovering last year. Don't get me wrong, but like he had that 1 touchdown grab, and then other than that, you know, he had 3 targets or less per game. He had 1, 2, 3, 4 games with just 1 target. Then a game with 2 targets, a game with 3 targets. So, I mean, yeah, we know the talent. He was incredible at Alabama. So I understand it. I'm not like knocking you if you're a fan of Jameson Williams and going after him. But for me personally, it just hasn't been a player who's been on my draft board. Like tonight he goes to the 10.4. That's fine. I mean, Taylor Gang, that's your wide receiver 5, if I can do math right. Yeah, like I don't have a problem with that. So for me, you know, the reports that came out today don't particularly bother me. And I just wouldn't overreact to it, you know, especially if you own J-Mo and Dynasty. Like it doesn't mean like his season's over or anything, you know, like we have to also try to consciously remind ourselves that it's training camp. Okay. There is, you know, it's not preseason quite yet. It's about to be. Like we're going to have like football Thursday night. Isn't that crazy? But even then, that's not even like, it's not really football. It's football. This is not football. You know what I'm saying? And then like, it's like, I don't know. Training camp's here. We've been waiting for it, right? Football is starting to slowly happen again. Okay. But it's still not really happening, which is going to lead, you know, all these reporters like and everyone out there who's involved in the NFL landscape to write whatever they can, because we're all anxiously waiting for week 1 to get here. So we have to remind ourselves that like a lot of this stuff that's coming out is like not stuff to overreact to at the end of the day. It's like we were talking about Kenneth Walker yesterday. Like, yes, we need to seriously monitor this, but he's a running back. Running backs get dinged up. That's what happens in training camp. The Seattle Seahawks might have a curse over their running backs on a regular basis, but we don't want to overreact to it. And I would say the same thing to what happened with this Jameson Williams report. So same thing, like the perfect example. Like, are we going to overreact to Tyreek Hill? and him getting hurt, or excuse me, him dropping passes, no. So there's my 2 cents. Wow, I had 1 second on the clock. I changed my pick at the last second. Give me Zay Jones in the 12th round in case Kirk or Ridley get hurt, God forbid. This tier wide receivers, Zay Jones, I don't really mind. KJ Osborne, I don't really mind. John Mechie, I don't really mind. Alec Pierce, Van Jefferson, DPJ, Isaiah Hodgins, I actually like, because I feel like those guys give you a slight bit more upside overall. So I'll be taking one of those guys with my last pick. But I don't mind Donta Foreman floating around, Jerome Ford. If I want to go running back here, Dalton Schultz and Chicken Conquo are still on the board. Aaron Rodgers, Danny Dimes, Kyler Murray, Brock Purdy, the legend himself. So I'll go DPJ. I think the Browns are going to throw it a lot here. So. All right, let's see. Yeah, Cats, I agree. JMO News Today was such clickbait. Yeah, I wouldn't get overly concerned about these reports. And then I also wouldn't react to reports like right away as well, because especially if you're getting them on Twitter, like half this stuff, you don't even know if it's true. Does the JT News movie down on Anthony Richardson? No, not particularly. Like, for me, like, we're looking at Anthony Richardson, like, yes, it would be better for Richardson if Jonathan Taylor is healthy and on the field, for sure. You know, it's going to help the run game. It's going to help Anthony Richardson's development. You know, Anthony Richardson being a dual threat quarterback and a running first quarterback, it's going to be tough for defenses to look at this offense and say, yeah, we know Anthony Richardson's running the ball here, or we know Jonathan Taylor's running the ball here. It's not going to be as difficult, more than likely, with Deion Jackson and Evan Hull. It could be. I mean, those guys could end up being studs once they get a full opportunity. So, but ultimately, you know, we know what Jonathan Taylor is, and we know the skill set that he brings. So if they're both on the field, that helps Anthony Richardson. But does it move me back from Anthony Richardson? No, not particularly. Like, he still goes at the 11.10 tonight. I think that's fine. If you're going to go out, take a swing on him as your QB2, I don't particularly have a problem with that. Yeah, I don't think for me it really impacts things too much. You know, Anthony Richardson is going to do whatever he can with this Colts offense, whatever the offense may be at the end of the day. So I'm not too concerned about it. All right, I'm going to try. Oh, perfect. That was way easier. Okay. Since we've kind of expanded the draft rounds, I've been meaning to expand it on the screen for you guys, so that's perfect. Cam, what's up, dude? Do you think it would be foolish to take Tyreek at number 6, then Waddle at number 21, then stacking with Tua later on? No. I mean, I do think you want to, like, somewhat limit your exposure into offenses. You know, like, here's the thing. Tua stays healthy. Last year, Tyreek Hill's your wide receiver 2, full PPR. Waddle's your wide receiver 8. So, like, you wouldn't have felt foolish in any way if you did it last year. And I think both those guys can easily finish in the top 12. Like, I mean, there's nothing crazy about that as long as they're healthy. So the bigger question is Tua going to stay healthy? And I love Tua as a late-round quarterback. I have no problem with that. So, no, but you do want to be careful, because it's like there's got to be at least 1 week where both those guys struggled. There's not going to be many, but, you know, if they have a down week, I'm trying to find one. I don't know if there's a week where both of them. I mean, Tyreek Hill literally gave you less than 13 fantasy points last week 2 times. So, yeah, I mean, And like week 18 is the best example. Waddle had 10 points. Hill had 4 points. So like, both those guys are probably going to do their thing each and every week. My bigger concern is I don't know if Waddle's always going to be there at pick 21 for you. All right, let me pick a defense. It's an important thing to do. We might be getting nitty gritty here. Yeah. I think the Jaguars are going to be improved. They looked really good at the end of last season. I mean, they were your defense 6 in fantasy last year. They had double digits every game, weeks 14 through 18. So, give me the Jags. Other kind of late sleeper options at defense, which like I always encourage you guys to stream defenses. Don't reach for defenses, but unfortunately not the Dolphins. They were one for me, but with Ramsey down, I'm not as confident. The Seahawks are already gone, yeah. The Packers and the Broncos. Two teams I take a shot on here. And potentially even the Giants at times. But those are all teams you could potentially stream pretty easily too. So give me Jason Myers all day long. Okay. Yeah, I mean, the other way to look at it, Cam, is like if you believed in the Eagles offense last year, boom, home run, Hurts, Smith, Brown, no complaints there. I mean, the Bengals, like Burrow, Chase, Higgins, no complaints there, other than when Zach Taylor like starts Higgins when he's hurt or whatever. So it can certainly work. The biggest thing is health, and then like you're gonna have some weeks potentially where you have a down week, and that affects your quarterback and your two primary wide receivers. Like it's gonna be tough to pull it out that week, but overall, if you believe in that offense on the year, I don't have a problem with it. So. Chase, I'll send the next mock invite in the chat. But if it doesn't fill for some reason, I'll post on Discord. Stay posted. 10-teamer coming up after the stream. Be probably like a 5-minute intermission just to make sure I have everything good to go. And then we'll do an off-air mock that I will be using for a video as well. All right, let's start hopping into some team reviews. Let's do it. Taylor Gang at the 1.9. What we do tonight? We got Prescott and Kyler. I'll take that all day long. Good value on both those guys. Andrews, you're good there. Chubb, ETN, Dobbins, Kendre Miller, and Jalen Warren. Okay. I can take that. Diggs, Mike Williams, Pickens, Moore, and J-Mo. Ravens defense, Brandon McManus. So let's just see here. We'd be starting Prescott and Andrews, Chubb and ETN, Diggs and Mike Williams. We did run a double flex tonight. I felt like this draft was like 2 rounds longer for some reason. So you'd probably be flexing Pickens and Elijah Moore, but Dobbins could sneak in there, and then over time, J-Mo could get in there as well. Another good, now that I saw that, another one to bring up, another offseason report. Never forget, Jamar Chase dropping footballs all offseason long, like, going into his rookie year. And then his quote about the college footballs having the LSU logo on them or whatever, making them easier to catch. I mean, it was like a red, like there are all kinds of people like, do not draft Jamar Chase. So how'd that work out? Anyways, if you believe in J-Mo right now, I wouldn't let this story today get to you. Okay, so yeah, I think you're in a pretty good spot. You have some, potential handcuff running backs. I like Kendre Miller in the 11th. I like Kyler behind Dak. Pretty good-looking squad, man. How do you feel about it? Chase Brown. How are you, dude? We got Burrow. Say no more. Burrow's going to be fine. Okay. Walking without a limp Monday. Joe, walking without a limp Burrow. That's what they call him. Cole Kmet, Sam Laporta. I'm good at that. Basically because I like Cole Kmet. Stevenson, Rashad White, Javonte. Sean Tucker's interesting. You know, I'm gonna say you hop on the Rashad White train and then you go for some more overall depth on your team there. Not a lot of options there though, so I guess that's okay. I think he's someone you could get off the waiver wire if you needed to. Chase, Ridley, Allen, Pittman, Moore, Collins, good wide receivers. Younghoe Koo, Dolphins defense. We're looking pretty good there. Burrow, Kmet, in terms of your starters. Stevenson, White, Chase, Ridley, Allen, and Pittman. Pretty solid. Javonte, Sky Moore, Collins, Laporta, and Sean Tucker on the bench. So starting roster looks good. You got some good pieces on the bench as well. Kicker and defense, whatever. They'll be fine either way. So I like your starting roster a lot. Looks pretty good. How do you feel about it, man? All right, we got Taylor at the 1.8. Mahomes and Kelsey. Say no more. Pierce, Akers, Pirine, Algier, Bigsby. I mean, in terms of mid to late round running back value, I like the names here. Pretty good. Waddle, McLaurin, Burks, Cooks, Bateman, Boyd. Probably the weakest part of this team, in my opinion. But you still have Waddle, McLaurin, then Burks, Cooks, Bateman are all like flex guys who I think will be kind of inconsistent at times. Patriots defense, Graham Gano, you're definitely good there. I like both those picks. But we're starting Mahomes and Kelsey, Pierce and Akers, Waddle and McLaurin. Then you're probably flexing Burks and Cooks, but Pirine and Bateman could sneak in there throughout the year. Algier and Bigsby could, and even Tyler Boyd could as well. So, like, I just don't think you get a tremendous amount of upside from most of these potential bench and flex guys. Maybe outside of Burks, and at times maybe Cooks, maybe Pirine. I don't know. I mean, I like Bateman. I just am kind of worried about him being placed on the PUP list, so I don't know. I like Algier in the 11th, but he's more of a handcuff to me. He could get, have some flashes here and there when, like, Falcons are playing well or they just want to rest Bijan or whatever. So core roster looks okay. I just don't love the bench personally. This just aren't some of the late round guys that I like. But trades, waiver wires, he'd probably be fine. All right, Cats, where do we come into tonight? Oh, I was looking for your old Cat Stafford. But now we're per Cousins. So Trevor Lawrence in the 7th. I mean, come on. Freiermuth in the 10th, great value on your quarterback and tight end tonight. I mean, if I could go into every mock I ran or every draft this year and know I was getting Trevor Lawrence at the 7.4 and even Freiermuth at the 10.9, I would be ecstatic. But that's not going to happen. Good for you tonight, though. Pollard, Hall, Mixon, Roschon. I can live with that running back room all day long. Kupp, Ayuk, Addison, Gabe Davis, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Mims. Got both the Broncos other than Judy tonight. And Justin Ross. Okay. Cowboys defense, Lions kicker. So, pretty good team. We got T-Law and Freiermuth starting. Pollard and Hall, Kupp and Ayuk. Probably flexing Gabe Davis and Cortland Sutton. But Mixon and Addison could easily be in there as well. And Addison would probably take over one of those spots long term. Roschon Johnson, Marvin Mims, even Justin Ross are all guys that could sneak in there. So I like this team, man. Yeah, I can live with it. I mean, Gabe Davis is your guy, so I'm not going to knock you there. I do like Sutton in the 9th right now. All right. Box and the Jack. What's up, dude? Lamar at QB, Ingram at tight end. Can live with that. C-Mac, Henry, Sanders. Love that start at running back. Tajay Spears, smart pick behind Henry. CEH, 15th rounder, whatever. Cooper, Lockett, Flowers, Mike Thomas, Thielen, Jaden Reed. Yeah, I mean, the upside here is at running back, quarterback, and even tight end. And even defense and kicker. I mean, the Niners defense, Daniel Carlson, probably can't get a better combination than that. But I prefer in a double flex league better wide receivers overall. So I just don't like Mike Thomas and Thielen. Aren't like those two guys I'm not really big on. Jaden Reed, I don't mind the 11th. Flowers, I love. Lockett's fine where you took him. You might have, I don't know. Lockett has a weird ADP. That's probably fine where you took him. Cooper's good at the 3.6. So let's see here. You'd be starting Lamar and Ingram, C-Mac and Henry, Cooper and Lockett, then probably flexing Sanders and Zay Flowers. It's not a bad starting lineup. Thomas, Thielen, Reed, Spear, CH on the bench. Niners defense, Daniel Carlson. Like, this could be a good team. Trades, waiver wires, all that. So I like the starting roster. I just don't love the bench guys. But I don't know. Bench players are like, go out, get your guys, whatever. Tommy at the 1-7. All right. Hurts. He's good. Hawkinson and Kincaid. I like that. Walker, Dillon, Herbert, Charbs. I mean, in redraft, I can live with it. I'm not as high on Herbert as some of you guys, but, like, I don't know. I'm all over the place with this Bears backfield. Like, he's sharing first-team reps with Donta Foreman, but then we've also gotten reports that, like, Roschon Johnson has been in the mix with first-team reps as well. So if you like Herbert in the 8th, that's fine. I probably prefer Brian Robinson or even Javonte right there, but it's fine. I like A.J. Dillon. I'm fine with him in the 7th. I'm not going to overreact to the Seattle Seahawks running backs injuries, so I think those guys are fine too. But A.J. Brown, Olave, love that start. JSN, Mooney, Shaheed, Curtis Samuel, good wide receiver room tonight. So you're starting Hurts and Hawkinson, Walker and Dillon, Brown and Olave, probably flexing Mooney and JSN to start the year. You could flex Herbert or Charbs, but Shaheed could easily be in that mix as well. Like, I don't know, some of these rookies, sometimes you want to like give it a couple weeks, week or two even, just to see how their progression goes. You know, we know that they might be stable pieces throughout the year, but those first couple weeks, like sometimes you don't want to let them sit. So you might have Shaheed in there, but JSN, I think you'll probably be okay starting him. So, yeah, I'm good at this team. Jets defense and Moody at kicker. Looks good to me. I do like the starting lineup here. Hurts, Hawkinson, Walker, Dillon, Brown, Olave, JSN, Mooney. Yeah, I can live with that. Kincaid's like your secret weapon on the bench, right? Dom is at the 1.10 tonight. Geno and A-Rich, I like that combo. Kittles, say no more. Always draft a second tight end behind him, like I usually say. Eckler, Gibbs, Cook, Kamara, Zeke, Ford, good running backs. Wilson, DJ Moore, Quentin Johnston, Lazard, Myers, Jefferson. Yeah, I like this team, actually. I mean, I just like, I don't know. I think it's just good value on all the players you took. Like Cook and Kamara obviously have their question marks right now. Zeke is a giant question mark, but whatever. So you're starting Geno and Kittle, Eckler and Gibbs, Wilson and DJ Moore. Then those two flex spots, I mean, Cook, Kamara, Quentin Johnston, Lazard, Myers, Van Jefferson, maybe even Zeke. All these guys could play a role, and maybe even Jerome Ford. So I like this team. I like the quarterback situation with Geno and Anthony Richardson as well. Yeah. I like that team, Dom. All right, let's see. J-Dubs at the 1.2. And looks like I accidentally skipped Boss Man. So I will hit these two teams. Wait, J-Dubs are at the 1-1. Trying to confuse me. Okay. All right, we got Fields at quarterback, Njoku at tight end. I'm fine with that. I think Fields is a pretty good value at the 5.1. Njoku's a good value in the 10th. Heavy wide receiver to start. J.J. Higgins, Metcalf, Watson, beautiful. Chark in the 12th. Mechie in the 13th. Two wide receivers who have wide receiver 1 potential. Maybe not on the best offenses, but bad offenses still produce good fantasy players. Pacheco, Monty, Penny, A-Chain, Harris for going, mid, late round running back. Pretty solid. Steelers defense and the best, man. Perfectly fine team. Your upside's at wide receiver and quarterback. You get a good value tight end. You're just rotating running backs. Don't get a lot of upside there, but you can get through sometimes without that. So you're starting Fields and Njoku, JJ and Higgins, Pacheco and Monty, Metcalf and Watson. That starting lineup's really good. Penny, A-Chain, Harris on the bench. I like all those running backs as bench running backs. DJ Chark, John Mechie, pretty solid squad, man. Not a lot to say here. I like that team a lot, J-Dubs. Boss man, I skipped your squad. Watson, I like him in the 9th. That's fine. Goddard and Schultz, good tight end combo. Good value on Schultz in the 15th. Everyone's passing on him. JT Jones, Connor, Jamal Williams. In redraft, I can live with it. Hill, Judy, Hopkins, Evans, Tony, Rondell Moore, not Sky Moore. That's fine. I don't like Kadarius Toney, but that's really my only note. I think everyone else is fine values where he took them. So, pretty good squad. Watson, Goddard, JT, hopefully, and Jones. If not, Jones and Connor. Hill and Judy, Hopkins and Evans. Good starting lineup. JT or Connor on your bench with Jamal, Tony, and Rondell Moore and Dalton Schultz. Got a great kicker. Got a defense that I believe in this year that was top 10 last year. Good team. For sure. Team of the night is tough. I like J-Dub's team. I do like Boss Man's team. I like Dom's team. Those are definitely my favorite teams we went over. Tommy had a pretty good team too. Whose bench do I like the most? Ooh, it's tough. I might go J-Dubs. Fields, Njoku, JJ Higgins, Pacheco, Monty, Metcalf, Watson. I think that's my favorite starting lineup. I don't know. It's close, man. That's a tough call. It's a 4-way tie. All right, let's roast my team. I picked Debo in the 3rd tonight. I panicked. So, I have Debo in the 3rd. I don't know. Like I said earlier, I wish I didn't because I could have got Ayuk at the 4.10 or the 5.3. Could have got T-Law far after that. I don't know. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. But yeah, I felt like I'd be reaching for Kirk or DJ Moore, and I wish I picked one of them. Then I went London and then Ayuk. But what are you going to do? I don't mind Debo. But sometimes he's going a little bit later than this, so I don't know. This is a weird spot to draft from, in my opinion. Anyways, we're starting Herbert and Dolchich, Bijan and Swift, Devonta Smith, Debo Samuel, Drake London, Jahan Dotson. I like that starting lineup. Brian Robinson, McKinnon, Dobbs, Zay Jones, DPJ on the bench. It's a decent team. Jaguars defense, Seattle's kicker, Jason Myers. But I don't know. Something's off with this team for me. I think it's just my conundrum here between the 3rd and 5th round. Everything outside of that, I like a lot. So, I don't know. It's a pretty good team. There's my roast. All right, guys. There's your mock draft for the night. Thank you guys for drafting with me. Truly appreciate it. We will be running a 10-team mock draft very shortly after the stream. It's the same format as this draft, 2 flex spots, 5 bench spots, and I will be using that for a video. So if you guys do join that mock, don't leave it early. and take it seriously because I'm using it for a video. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys for hanging out tonight, talking fantasy. I've got a pretty solid agenda after the stream, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for the night. And yeah, there's your mock draft in the books. Okay, guys, I'm going to send out the mock draft link. It's in the chat. I'll give you guys a time, probably like 11:30. I just need a minute I need a brief intermission. But 10-team mock on the way. Let's do it. Hit the like on the way out. Subscribe because I'm awesome and fantasy football is awesome. Follow us on Instagram, join our free Discord. And guys, if you have mock draft requests, please let me know. It's mock draft season. I want to run mock drafts for you guys. Okay? So, 10-teamer requested by Tommy's in the chat. I'll see you guys there. That'll do it for the night. I should be back on tomorrow. Everyone have a great Tuesday. And let me know if you need anything fantasy football related. That's about all I can help you with. All right. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the catch, fam. There's my outro for the night. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. With that, I will say thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on the catch. And peace.